Everyone, this video is designed for people who are having trouble in microeconomics or maybe even macroeconomics when you're talking about labor markets. Specifically for this video, it's going to be about the change in the minimum wage in your labor market. Here's your standard labor market graph. You have your wage at the top on this axis, your quantity of people on this axis. You have your supply of labor, LS, which is the people. This line represents the people in our system here. And you have LD, or demand of labor, which is the company. Alright, so what I have already marked on here is our equilibrium point. So we're going to mark that with a nice little E. And so we're talking about minimum wage. Let's just assume for our fake company and fake country, the minimum wage is $5 an hour. And our company is willing to employ 50 people at the wage of $5 an hour. So the question here is, what is the effect of a change in minimum wage, or an increase rather in minimum wage, to, let's say, $10 an hour? Alright, so to get a look at this, what you need to do is on your graph, draw a line, if I can draw it here. There we go. Not beautiful, but it'll do. So you look at your 2 points where this new horizontal line crosses our two lines, the labor line and the supply line and the demand line. So what you have here, on this line, on this point, you have the amount of people who are willing to work for $10 an hour. So let's draw our dotted line down here. And let's say it's going to be 75 people are willing to work for $10 an hour. Now our company is going to be on this line, this new point. Okay, they are willing to employ, let's say, 40 people for $10 an hour. This is a good visual representation of a generic example of what would happen if the minimum wage was increased from $5 an hour to $10 an hour. You have a disparity between the people who were already working at $5 an hour to when the price was raised to $10 an hour. Now, 10 people basically had to get laid off in order for this company to keep its workforce. As far as these new 25 people, well, unfortunately, they are still unemployed, so I feel bad for them. But you at least get a good representation of what happens when you increase minimum wage. Or you can also look at it as an increase in the price floor. Now, you can also look at it as what happens if, for some reason, minimum wage goes down. And I wouldn't understand a case of that happening, but let's see what happens when minimum wage goes down for whatever reason. Let's say it's $3 an hour. And this isn't really ever going to happen, but it'll show you the inverse of an increase in minimum wage. So what you have are two other new points down here. This new point shows the amount of people who are willing to work for $3 an hour and how many people the company is willing to hire for $3 an hour. And it's just happenstance that these numbers happen to line up. Obviously, that's never going to happen because maybe, it was $4 an hour, so it might be the company's willing to hire 60 people, but only 43 are willing to work, or whatever the case may be. But there you have it. An increase in minimum wage basically will increase the unemployment rate because you have 10 people getting laid off in order for this company to stay in business.